All right, it is Hello Again Wednesday. I'm outside. It is sunshiny right now. It is chilly though. You can see I got my Snoopy jacket on and it is chilly, but I am going to be doing this one a little bit earlier than usual. I'm actually going to do it right before Bible study and to make that pan out. And so I usually don't do this. I usually don't, by this, I mean, I usually don't do, well, first of all, let me go back this way. It's Hello Again Wednesday, number 117. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you joined me this week. You can hear Thor probably barking in the background because Elijah's got some friends over. But thanks for following me on Facebook. Thanks for checking me out on YouTube. On my YouTube channel, Brent Miller, What's on His Mind. Or I do have the church website back up and running and secure. You can see everything there. Also, Culver City Church of God.org, as well as Rumble, Brent Miller 051. And I want to tell you how much I appreciate you guys joining me week after week, being my special guest, telling your stories, filling in on the conversation. And so thanks for being my special guest, especially this week. Keep watching, keep clicking, keep liking, keep sharing. Do all of that you do. Thank you so much. Real quick pain report. All my stuff is done. I'm just waiting on a phone call from the neurosurgeon on what day. It'll be hopefully a Thursday in a week or two. Not tomorrow, but in a week or two. And I really hope so, because it is still very painful. Same stuff, still pins and needles. More of burning. It's really weird because it's numb, but it's burning. It's what they call like a dead leg burning. My ankle feels like it's sprained, and that burning sensation you have with that kind of feeling. And it's just, continue to please pray for me. And I'll say this, if you ask me, I will pray for you also. So let's jump into the question of the day. What I was going to say earlier is that I usually do not jump on the current event of news as a bandwagon. I kind of avoid it and stay away from it. But this one, it has intrigued me for 2 weeks now, I think. And so the question of the day is, ready? Aliens or not? And so you can chime in however you want to, whether you believe or don't believe, or as also joining in on this bandwagon of the news. Also, you can do that if you like. For me, I'm going to go really a different route than the current events of our administration. And I mean, it's laughable. I'm sorry to not deny or to say that this possibility of aliens. I don't jump to that knee-jerk reaction. I can't help but have an eyebrow get raised on it, though, and laugh a little, because it's, this chaos. And this is how I laugh at it. Ready? It's a plane. It's a bird. No. It's Superman. That goes way back to the 40s. No. I mean, it's a balloon. It's a UFO. No, maybe it is a balloon. And so you got to laugh at it a little bit to enjoy it. And so I think one of the reasons why I chose it today as my question of the day is because and I've told you this in the past, I have always been fascinated with space, with space exploration, with the technology that we have, especially the even greater than the Hubble telescopes now and stuff like that. It's just so cool to me in that venue, and I have been fascinated with it probably since 1969, which would be ready? 19 years after Roswell, I think, right? Was it Roswell in the 50s or something like that? So, even after Roswell, I had acquired space books. And, and I'm talking about with the rocket, the race to the moon and stuff like that. Those are the things that have really fascinated me rather than aliens and UFOs. And so I have always enjoyed it. For me, it's more of space flight rather than space fright. Okay. And so I'm going to start with a couple of things and rattle this off kind of quick, maybe. There is the back in 1966, I think it was the famous saying, ready? Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Thor. And so I have enjoyed the Star Trek show way back then, growing up with it, and then watching it definitely in reruns and stuff like that, especially in reruns, because I would only, 66, I would only been one. Okay, so I watched my Star Trek adventures in reruns, but to not, it's not like I didn't like it none the least. You know, it was something I really enjoyed. It was mesmerizing in the fact that it really made you think outside of the box. Okay, you didn't have to have all your problems or anything like that. You could think outside the box of space. I enjoyed watching, though, growing up, really watching the space rockets, that space race, where the rockets were sometimes not lifting off the ground, and sometimes they would lift off the ground. And then there was the times where the astronauts went up in space. And so as part of our school thing, they'd bring in the television and we watched stuff like that. It was awesome for me. And so in that kind of a growing up eras, we then, and into adulthood, it was enjoying the beauty of the space and the space flight and space race. And unfortunately, even sometimes the tragic things that took place with that space race. I enjoyed the flight of the shuttles. I'm still in awe to walk right next to the Endeavour downtown in downtown LA at the museum. And they got great plans for a huge display for that thing. I mean, it's on display now, but they got this really artwork planned out of what it's going to look like down the road. So I look forward to that too. Now, I have enjoyed the awesomeness of brilliant people sending people into space, and to have a spacecraft, land right back where it started. This is where we're at now. This is the level of the space race where rockets are going up and coming right back down and landing where they took off from. And to me, that is kind of the coolness of space. Okay, how about remembering, ready, for the first time? Now, for young whippersnappers, it wouldn't be for them. They'd have to watch it later on. But for the first time in a theater, watching loudly and in length the ship that was entering onto the screen slowly, almost as long as that opening storyline was of Star Wars, was this ship rumbling in itself. And so Star Wars, with George Lucas, man, he just exploded the idea of going from earlier versions of movies, way back, even before Star Trek. You had the space movies and stuff like that, and so to see that progression of entertainment in the realm of special effects, man, he just exploded it. And so, besides Star Wars, there was some, and I'm not going to do them all, man, because I got a ton, but there was some great space movies. All right. The first one, Alien, duh. Okay. If I'm going to say aliens really and talk about the laughter that's going on right now, the movie Aliens and its sequels and stuff like that, it got kind of out of hand, Predator versus an alien and stuff like that, and I did see Predator and I enjoyed it. I watched it. Of course, Star Wars, all of the Star Wars, man, just some great stuff. Or the Star Trek motion pictures, to see the great ones coming back from the 60s, and now they're in the 80s and they're doing these great movies that I did like, the great movies. Not we all. You wonder how many people shed a tear when Spock was dying, giving up his life in that one chamber that was fully radioactive. Then there's other movies that I do like. Galaxy Quest was one of them. I'm a Tim Allen fan, and besides his books and television shows, I did enjoy Galaxy Quest. Or how about Guardian of the Galaxy? If you're an 80s kid, you know what? You would love the soundtrack for Guardian of the Galaxy, both of that, 1 and 2. Or how about Men in Black? You know what? I got a cousin that lives up in the Seattle area and loves the Space Needle and all that stuff, I think it is. And that was part of Men in Black. Okay. Or you could go back for some of our older generation. How about Jerry Lewis, the comedian, Jerry Lewis, Visit to a Small Planet. And then, of course, I'm going to do 2 more. There was Close Encounters of the Third Kind with that iconic boop, 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 boop. I can't do it right. You know what I'm talking about? Where they actually came out and tried to converse with the ship. With that iconic I can't even do it, man. It slipped me. Oh well. And then my last one, because I want you guys to add into the conversation. There's plenty of space movies, space television shows that you can add into the comments. Okay, but a favorite of mine, ready, with John Candy. I'm a John Candy fan. Spaceballs. Mel Brooks. In fact, I just watched Young Frankenstein last night. Mel Brooks with Spaceballs. I enjoyed it. It was a spoof on all of the space movies. And so he did a great job with that one. So like I said, I got a ton. I want you guys, though, to add them into the comments. Now, just on a serious note, all right? Talking about aliens, I'm not going to laugh at this one. As a Christian, I consider myself as a foreigner or an alien of this world. Why is that? Because I've taught that I'm heaven bound. That's my place. That's where I'm going to live for all eternity. Hopefully you are too. Okay. So that's me for my alien thing. Now, Bible study is going to start in about 45 minutes. 5:30 out here on the West Coast. And I'm going to head over to the church real soon now. And just kind of set up real quick right there for that. There is a link. If you ever want to join we do have a Zoom link because we do in person and we do the Zoom link together. And so those of us that are in person downstairs in the church, we also see everyone on the screen and we have conversations together. There's about, I don't know, sometimes 10 people, 12 people that come together. And I do have an announcement that will be made in this coming Bible study, what's going to start happening next Wednesday. Okay. Now, if you have no church, services in your area, join us via Zoom, okay? Or join us on Sundays. Like I said, I got the website up and running. It was been up, but then they dinked it around with when I was getting that SSL license and secure stuff. But if you want, you can join us on culvercitychurchofgod.org. You can watch our services live. You can watch it on Facebook, Culver City Church of God Ministries. 10:45 Pacific time is when it will be taking place. Or most of all, check out a church near you that's having a Bible study, a church service. Maybe they're having a Wednesday, a memorable moment. You know, maybe they're even talking about a current event that you can share along with someone else. Be there. Or just click around and, like, share, and be a part of our ministry here. I sure appreciate you joining as you leave your stories. I want to thank you once again for being what I consider my special guest. Maybe one day we'll do another live episode. That was a fun one. And so just I'll come up with one down the road maybe. And so, but I want to thank you for joining me this day as my special guest. As a reminder, the question of the day was what? Aliens or not? And then you guys just fill in and join in on that conversation with me, if you please. I hope you have a great Wednesday. You got a little bit of it left of it. Thanks for being my special guest today. And remember, give somebody a huge hello again hug, handshake, or whatever. And as always, I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday on Hello Again Wednesday.